Look at this monstrosity of a room. I'm just
Mhm.
kidding.
Look, we're still gonna get together, Steven. It's gonna be beautiful. It's starting to look good. It's starting to look good. I mean, most of it's gonna that's how it's going to look. Like that's done. That's a finished
This
product.
is finished. The
That's
floor
first
books. It's
draft.
called a floor shelf for a reason, all right?
That's right. That everything's a shelf if you believe in yourself. That's Anthony Lafusi. Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles that life throws away in order to try to make comic books in this ridiculous world. Steven, right now, we have a Kickstarter live for our Deathless issue 3. It's actually Deathless issues 1 through 3 because you can do the backup tier where you get all of the issues, including the very brand new ones, so far unreleased third issue. Steven, how's that Kickstarter going so far?
That Kickstarter is kicking ass. We definitely hit our goal within like a day and a half, I think it
Yeah,
was, something
yeah.
like that, which is always great. It's the biggest stress if you run a Kickstarter campaign or any sort of crowdfunding campaign, crossing at least the minimum threshold to make it come true is such a relief because at the very end the book is at least being printed.
Yeah,
Now from here, it's just to get it into as many hands as possible.
yeah, dude. I like that's where I'm relieved, first of all, because obviously I was pretty nervous about this one. Like I wasn't sure. Like I hope that we would eventually cross that line. I feel like we have enough readers from previous books and we have enough friends and family and fans to like get it done. But I was a little nervous because it's been so long since our last one.
Mhm.
And like I was super relieved that we crossed that finish line like early enough, and I was like yes. But then we kind of like petered off as far as the backers are concerned. I was like it's like that's a little discouraging because I was like we average a little over 100 backers, with the last few campaigns that we've run. So I don't know, like stopping at 41 and kind of plateauing with like 18 days to go. I'm like crap, like people forgot about us, no one likes us, like what's going on? Like I know this book is good, like I know these books are fun, they're funny, they're like beautifully drawn, and like I don't know, I know it's there, so I'm just like what are we missing? And it stinks because like I know some of it is like the time, I know some of it's the time of year, I know some of
Mhm.
it is like I probably could have like made the Kickstarter flashier, and like I don't know. Like some of that stuff, I'm not great at that stuff. Like I'm not, well, you know what? Like I can do it, but I'm not great at like knowing that it needs to be done. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because like for me, those aren't the things that I look at, but they are things that are all effective when it comes to like getting a broader audience and stuff. So I have to be better at that next time. But like you said, dude, I'm not gonna complain. I'm very happy
No,
that
yeah, we are so happy with. Of course, the people that show up are the ones that always show up, and we love them, and they are incredible, and they make it so that we can actually work on this and spend our time pushing these kinds of projects and make it feel like it's worth it. Make it feel like it's worth the sacrifice of time and those things like that. But yeah, man, it's just really exciting to hit that. We definitely need to just start hitting more Comic Cons. Maybe we can even just aim for the next Kickstarter to happen in like February or March because that's just a good
well,
time of year to launch
I
it.
think we
So
should do it. I think we should get back to March the way we did before because
March 4th.
it was the March 4th like works for us. And even if we just have to push the deadline a little, that's okay. But I think you've learned and we both learned that like deadlines help us a lot. Like,
Hmm.
staying a task, like knowing that we have to be accountable for other people. And the way that like this show is supposed to help us stay accountable, and it does to a degree, but it also is that like we forgive ourselves a lot, because like
Hmm.
the truth is it's life. I mean, look at me. I'm in this like brand new space. I spent the week, I'm exhausted right now, Steven. I spent like this whole week moving things and packing things and like cleaning things and arranging things and carrying things and building. Steven, I've built so many things. I am just freaking Edward Scissors. Like I'm Edward Screwdriver hands. All I've done is just, and I don't even have a freaking like screw gun. I just
Oh, that's the
one
worst. Cause
single freaking
dude, the first
screwdriver.
thing I remember one time I didn't have the Allen wrench that the the
Yeah.
build came with. So I
Oh,
actually took my hand grinder and
yeah.
cut the key just so I could put it into my power drill
Yeah.
and use it, because it literally, they're like, don't use power drills, you'll strip it. But I don't give a shit.
I
This
don't
like
care. Yeah.
this literally takes the time down to
Oh
like,
God.
half
Yeah,
at least.
significantly. Oh, it really is. But like, okay, so normally in the show we talk about like what we did this week. What I want to do, Steven, I want to start focusing on the issues of the week first, because everyone has issues. That's what the whole show is about. So like, what got in the way? So like, what got in your way at all this week?
I don't feel like
First.
anything prevented me this week. Just if could I have accomplished more? Yes.
Yeah.
And I would just have to say that just the usual suspects.
Work.
Work is
Oh,
daunting and tiresome sometimes. And then, oh, we had there was a Pokemon Go event this past weekend that was like a big deal. So we definitely, I hung out with my brother, sister,
yeah.
Tina, kids, and all that. So there was definitely some time like
Yeah.
spent with family and friends. So,
Yeah,
but
dude.
yeah, no, like I got the last page done, and now it's just doing the little remainder things.
Steven, I want to save that. I'm trying to save. I want to save that. I want to. So I get it, Steven. You got all your stuff. Okay, listen. I'll tell you what my issues were this week. First of all, I freaking packed up, moved, and built every single day for the past week. And that's all I've been doing. It's been daunting and just like, oh my God, exhausting. However, I love this. This is like the best of freaking life right now. It's been so fantastic. I was a little nervous because Steven, I also another thing that's been like distracting me. I have two dogs now. I have dogs. I inherited. It's a Brady bunch. It's a very hairy bunch. Is what we did.
Atlas shares like a joined bathroom with the dogs, and
Yeah, dude, it's so interesting having dogs and being like, oh, this is just having toddlers again. It's just
Mhm.
toddlers. These things just follow me, and they won't explain what they want. They don't know what they want, but they want something all the time, and
I
that's
just
just
want your energy, and
yeah.
then, oh, if you're getting food does sound good. Oh, are you going outside? Because outside sounds pretty
Outside
good too.
sounds pretty good too.
Whatever
But
you're doing sounds pretty
that's
good, is what I'm getting at.
that's exactly what it is. It's just like it's not something I've really experienced. I've been around dogs and my family, my parents had dogs, but I never experienced it like as an adult having a dog where it's just like just following me. And I'm like, okay, well, hey man, what do you need? And he's like,
So
yeah, that's it. Just like I'm gonna be with you now. Like, no, this is just where we are. And I'm like,
I'm your living shadow,
I'm your
basically.
living shadow. Yeah, I live with. I'm your.
Dude, I cannot get up from any room of my house and motion towards the kitchen without Samuel immediately getting up and thinking like it's snack time. Like, no, it's my snack time. It's not your snack time.
It's
But
so
of course he
funny.
gets snacks from me, therefore perpetuating the whole problem. But
Oh my God. Yeah, well, oh God, that's a whole funny thing about like having the dogs where I'm just like, okay, they're outside. He barked. If I go and I approach him when he barks and to tell him not to bark, he's gonna think every time I bark, he's gonna come see what I need. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Wait, which way do we go with this? Do I ignore the barking or do I address the bark? What do we do? So it's so funny. So I've been like dealing with that while moving, while building, while doing all this. And also, Steven, I would be remiss. I feel like I'd be failing both you and me and my family in general to not bring this up. My son, Steven, I watched my son, my beautiful, wonderful,
my
adorable
boy.
baby, my boy, who I watched scoot on his diapered booty across the tile, who I like taught to pee in a toilet. I watched him with his bare fists slam a board and break it in his taekwondo class.
That's
And I
amazing.
was like, yes, yes, what? And like, what made it even sweeter, Stephen? What made it even
He used
so
to live in he used to live inside my
my balls?
balls.
Yeah. Oh man. But like, Stephen, what made it even sweeter? Two things. There are two things that made it sweeter, and I know it shouldn't. I understand that this isn't a healthy way to live, and I know that I wish I was better. I wish I was a better person. And this is one of my issues that I'm trying to overcome. But here's the thing, Stephen. Some of those children, one, weren't able to do it, which I was like, ooh, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better about my child, who is
There is a different podcast right now with
is
a
yeah,
different
yeah,
tone and energy about
100%.
this story.
So like, okay. So like, and here, like, look, I want them to be able to do. I'm sure they will, and like, I hope they don't give up. I hope they learn, just like everything else. That's life is tumultuous. We learn from our failures, and we grow just like we have.
Mhm.
However, having someone like knowing my son and his little like timid self and how cute and just like how reluctant he is to like exert himself in any way like that. I was like, he freaking did it and he nailed it. And I watched him, Steven. I watched him like KT and I like we went, we were like cheering him on and stuff, but I watched him realize because they didn't warn him about this. They didn't tell him there was going to be a board. They didn't tell him he was going to be doing this, right? What they did is they put it behind him. And they were going by like through the different people and he saw other kids doing it and he was like, oh,
It's happening.
this is happening. And he looked behind him and he saw that board and he immediately to himself started going like this, like practicing.
Just practicing. He's like,
Yeah.
no,
And
you're not going to surprise me, Lindsay Lohan.
it was so funny. But dude, the second thing, and I have to bring this up because like, I mean, okay, Steven, I want to give you this picture for a second, right? You have to imagine a standard like Karate Kid-esque dojo, right? Like there are a bunch of like, there's a bunch of Miyagis around. Like it's like, you get I mean, it's like a pretty awesome situation, bunch of Miyagis, some very like very like 80s superhero style like Korean Miyagi, like literally this guy, like the main master of that dojo was like in magazines. He was like a big star
Wow.
with this particular type of martial arts, right? In the 80s. So it's like really cool to see this stuff, right? That's all the masters, all like the senseis, right? And then you see a sea of children of various like skill levels. And you're like, here are the white belts, here are the advanced white belts, the yellow belts, and so forth, and you're like, and it gets all the way back, and you're like, oh man, there's this kid who's like training for his black belt. He wants to get it, and he means business. But mixed among them, Stephen, mixed among them, wearing a very long purple belt is the oldest man I've ever seen. Stephen, I didn't know this was a thing, and I don't know. Okay, listen. Now, I know you're out there. I know there are going to be 5 of you out there. 5 of you out there who are going to be like, he's old and probably dying, and this is his make-a-wish. I don't know. I don't know that. And you know what? That would be an interesting movie. And maybe that, like, someone can make a fun, like, Oscar Beatty movie for that. But what I saw was a sea of children and an old man all doing the same thing at the same time. And it was magnificent, Steven. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And, like, what was really cool was there's a point in the whole thing. By the way, last 2 hours. This last 2 hours, which of the children events, right? Like if you're gonna go and watch any child event for
2 hours is pretty fair.
2 hours is pretty fair for like watching kids like kick boards and like do like fun karate stuff with nunchucks. Like they're playing with swords, they're doing stuff, they're entertained. It's like if they turned around and were like, "Are you not entertained?" We'd be like, "No, you're good." Like we'd be like, "Freaking yeah, you guys are you're killing it out there." Like yeah, we're give me. Yeah, I want the belt too, though. Steven, how many do you think you could take? I gotta ask. Like how many like camis? How many camis do you think you could take?
Oh man, I could take as many as it was until I tired. Like if I had to defeat a bunch of children all at once.
It's interesting though. Like it depends on how they fight you, right?
I can be a killing machine, right? Like I don't need to be dainty about this. Like this is
no, not at all. I'm asking.
These are hypothetical children, and I'm fighting for my life.
It's hypothetical evil, not children who were taken over by an evil spirit, and you have to like be like, oh no, hopefully they'll get better. Oh God, please do not break. Like don't bruise these children. These are actual like clay children who have the same like genetic capacity of our children. You know what I mean? Like they're golems for evil purposes. Like there's no goodness in them. But they do have the same amount of energy and like
strength and speed of a child of a 9-year-old child.
Yeah. So like, and I think it depends first of all how they fight you. If they're fighting you like 80s, 90s ninja movie way where it's like one at a time. It's probably all day. Like you're just gonna be like, all right, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. But if they all attack at once, if they flock you, like if they're just like piranhas, if they become piranhas, how many do you think you could take?
I feel like because of my size, I could literally just grab one, and if they started to swarm, I could just like tuck and roll and just start rolling over these kids. I mean, like just like bowling pinning them down. Like
Katamariing.
Yeah, basically. Like I just grow into a huge ball of like karate kids and like no, but like realistically, if they were like legitimate like zombies swarming me, I'm still thinking at least a good 15 before maybe the group gets to
I think that's a fair number. I think that's a fair number because I think like you'd probably get tired like earlier like than you imagine, but I do
Mm,
think you'd last through 15-ish
mhm.
kids, you know, because like I feel like you'd take out a few pretty easily, and then like the rest would happen like in a filthy, terrible way.
The key, I guess, would just be you. This is so crazy to talk about, but the key would be just utilizing your kinetic forces to your. If
Yeah,
you're punching, you're not punching one. Aim to swing that same force across three jaws. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
wail. Like
You aim for the back of heads, the sides.
and
Yeah,
these kids aren't playing the game of defense, so you can literally just throw haymaker after haymaker and just take out three at a time, hopefully, and then
I think so. And like having seen them compete and like spar and get their belts, yeah, you could take 15.
I
I
cannot wait until virtual reality and
oh, and you can
artificial
this
gaming like can reach that point to where I can see if I could and see how far
100%.
you can go without actually hurting anybody. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
God, it would be like so many things could be solved by that. Like you just be like,
Hmm.
okay, every guy, you can't be a chimp. Go learn. And like I think we all need this. We need that lesson, just to humble us a little, because like the smart people among us know none of us could take a chimp.
No,
We all think we could a little. Like it's
I'm just too afraid of where they're gonna put those hands, man.
oh
Like,
no, bah, and right down like
yeah,
bah,
it's
just
gonna be
nope,
lips,
nope,
nose,
nope,
like
nope, and
ears,
crotches, and that's it.
eyelids. Like, they're just gonna the
Yeah.
dirtiest fighter ever
Oh,
times 1,000 with the strength of 10 of us. So
oh God, just unbelievable. And
like if I was fighting a chimp and he grabbed my thing,
yeah,
it's over. Like he's
no,
won.
he's
He's
fine. Yeah,
won,
what
but
do you do?
he's not going to play the game of like
You
no.
can't
He's
resist.
already as I'm realizing he's grabbed
Oh,
it, he's already ripping it clean off. You know what I'm saying? It's just one movement. I'm like, oh, there goes. Yep, there it is. It's
oh
gone.
yeah. I mean, the only that's like pure revenge for 5 seconds before you bleed out. Like
Yep.
that's
That's
whatever, whatever
I'm
happens.
gonna bite you in your jugular, like type of like response.
But dude, okay, so I just like to end this. So we're watching this, and this older man, right? He's doing this thing. There's a moment in with each belt, right, where they do a demonstration of the skills that they've learned, where the sensei, whoever who they've been working with, steps forward and he goes, "Are you ready?" And they do their moves, and they all do it together, like a big shadow, like simultaneous, like just so kind of like synchronized swimming, where it's like they're all just like doing the same moves at the same time, but it's like murder, it's murder moves. Um, but you see like this older man doing these moves, and the younger kid is like he is one of the smallest kids in there who happens to be working with this older man. Who it's just those two and the sensei, and it's just like this kid earned all of my respect because I was like, imagine being like 7 years old and being like, I have to stand next to this adult man and do these moves. Like I need to like focus up and like be good about this. And he was better than the old man. It was so funny to watch, dude. It was like I want to see that sitcom. It seemed like an indie movie all day. Like something was going on there.
It was a little bit of sunshine, but it was the sun story.
Yes. Dude, it was so interesting. Like I mean you can write so many stories based on that guy. Like, who knows why. Like maybe he's afraid that he knows he's about to die and he doesn't want his unfinished business to be getting a black belt. He's like, I can't do that as a ghost. I'm like,
I'm not gonna do this.
I'm gonna do this. I gotta get my black belt now while I still can. But yeah, dude, I don't know. That was such an
It
interesting.
just cuts to reality. I'm gonna kill that son of a
I'm gonna
bitch
kill
that
this
stole
one.
my wife. Oh my god.
That's absolutely probably what it is. He's like, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna learn. Oh, no, there's so many stories of that, and like watching him there, it was like it's hard because like you laugh, you laugh. Like I'm not gonna not laugh. Like there's an adult man among children doing karate. It's the funniest thing in the world, but it's no. I'm like, it could be sad. Don't laugh loudly. And like KT and I are just like, oh my God, what do we do? Just don't make jokes. I'm making jokes. And it's just so good. But it was so good. But it's so distracting. It's 2 hours. 2 hours in the middle of the day, like like afternoon. Like there goes that, which is like totally worth it. Absolutely, like time well spent. But dang, dude, I just have had no time to get anything done this week. So I'm gonna say I freaking failed this week. Like I
You
did.
built a lot of furniture though,
Yeah,
Edward Scissorhands or
yeah,
screwdriver hands.
dude, I did. And like, I mean, we started putting stuff together, thankfully, and like we're building our living room and our room. Like it's all looking really good. I'm excited to get like stuff up on the walls. So this is like a new shared space. We have this extra room and we're using it as an office for both of us. So it's like, she's gonna have her chaise lounge where she works and stuff. And she's like, I get to put stuff on the walls and it's so cool. We're just building this like nice home together and it's been
That's
beautiful. And,
so
like,
awesome, dude.
dude, it's been so great. We've been playing board games and video games like every night and just like having
How's
a
Atlas been with the dogs?
you know what? He's getting better with them. Like he's still
It's
nervous
it's
about
gonna break him into
yeah.
dogs for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
it's
you know what's
live or
cool is
die,
like
you know.
so the first couple days we had like cardboard boxes from like packet like getting the furniture and stuff with these big cardboard boxes that we were like kind of segregating like sectioning off his area of the house so the dogs couldn't get back there and he was standing behind the box like hello just like the Frenchman from Monty Python just like
Uh-huh.
your mother was a hamster just like yelling at the dogs but he's learning to train the dog so he's just like sit and like the dogs are sitting and so he's like getting used to him that way and today we put a fence in now we have like this little gate that you can open and so he's been standing behind it he's saying sit and stuff so he's getting used to them and they're getting used to him so they're not like constantly barking and it's
Mhm.
nice dude he is getting a lot more used to them he'll like really touch the smaller one, Yoda, when that's a big deal. Like before he was literally like cowering away from him, like even though he's like the cutest little puppy,
Just a sweet
but
little hey,
just
pet me dog.
hey, I would like attention. I sure would like to be your shadow. And he's like, oh, you're my nightmare. You're just shadow monster. But yeah, dude, it's been so great though, and it's like KT's been cooking amazing dinners for us, and it's just been like wonderful. Like just like through and through, like spending time together. We went like now we have our couch and like our TV set up and everything. We started watching the show From, which is really cool.
That's why you're like the third person that's told me about this now. Tina
Okay,
and I just started the Blacklist though, so we gotta get through the Blacklist. I
dude,
can't believe I never watched Blacklist. It's so cool, but
is it? I never
yeah.
watched it either. Dude, From is like Lost but spooky. And okay, I don't think I'm giving anything away because like you see
Mm.
this stuff and that they haven't said anything yet about what these things are. But it's like these people are stuck in this space somehow, and there are these monsters that look like people that only come out at night that like stand outside of the houses and can't get in unless you invite them in. I'm like, these sound like vampires. These are
Hmm.
vampires. They come out at night. They don't come in unless you invite them. And then when they kill people, they rip out their hearts because we're essentially just Tootsie Pops to vampires, right? Like,
Hmm.
right?
They,
That's
they
what
need they need
that's
the
what they
chewy center.
yeah. It's like why would you drink the juice when there's a sweet like like there's bubble gum in the center. That's what the main source
Why
of
buy the milk when the cow's free?
yeah, you'd say, yeah, exactly. Yeah, why take time drinking? Yeah, like you eat the cereal, then drink the milk. But they haven't said on the show that they're vampires. They don't have fangs. And, like no one staked them through the heart or anything. But like they seem like vampires. Like it's very interesting that like no one said like no one in the show in all of season one uses the word. And like like I'm like KT and I were like talking about him. It's like they seem like vampires, but no one is treating
No
them.
one's mentioning them.
No one's mentioning that they're vampires. So I don't know. They could just be like generic monsters or like demon-esque things that like seem like vampires. Maybe it's gonna be like this is the creature, the thing that created the myth of vampires. Someone was
Mm.
stuck in this world, met these creatures, and then escapes somehow. And
And like,
vampires.
oh, they come out at night. They eat
Yeah,
your heart. Your heart. Oh, maybe the blood.
blood.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
probably go for blood.
Yeah. So like I maybe
They
they
they stayed away from Luigi though when we were in there. They didn't want anything to do with Luigi. I don't know why. I don't know
I
what
don't
it
know
was.
why.
Oh,
Probably
Luigi
the
must
garlic.
use it.
Probably the garlic
Gotta be
was
the garlic.
I mean, it's very Italian, right?
We,
Right,
we there was some trial and errors. We threw pasta at vampires for a while just to see if that's what it
right.
was. Didn't work.
Didn't work. Didn't work. Oh my god.
Turns out they just don't like to smell like garlic. It's actually not even they're not even weak to garlic. They don't want the aroma.
They don't want the aroma. They don't want that. No, they believe in true colognes. Although it's weird because like they already smell like death, right? Like vampires have
Mm.
to stink. Although when I think of vampires, I don't often think of like they smell like death, but they'd have to, right?
They probably do, but I think because of their like
I mean,
seduction capabilities,
yeah, it doesn't
their
matter.
pheromones probably smell like they want however they want them to smell to you, their prey.
Interesting. You know what'd be kind of cool if like what if the person a vampire is like going after smells like something like that, like something beautiful, like, oh, you smell like brownies, you smell, like, oh,
Mhm.
I smell caramel, like, ooh, creme brulee, but everyone else smells death. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's just like, what the fuck? What is that?
Because it's specifically set for you right
That for
now.
you, yeah. Like they're sending out pheromones for you, you
I
know?
always thought that was like a cool, like I think X23 has it, but I know Dakin has it, or
Yeah.
Dakin, whatever you want to call them. But they have pheromone controlling like abilities to where they can release certain scents to make people feel a type of way, and
Oh,
like
crazy. That's
that's
so
such a
crazy.
crazy gift as a hunter, you know. And it's like
Oh yeah.
it's,
Oh
anyways.
yeah, dude. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like that makes a really easy and dark villain. You know, like
Mhm.
if someone can do that as a villain, dark. You know, like as a hero, you can kind of manipulate it and use it in different ways. But like,
But you only use it when you absolutely have to. But as a villain, they're just doing the most sinister shit
oh
with
yeah,
that
you
gift,
become
you
the
know.
purple man. Just
Yeah.
like telling people to do nonsense. Like, oh, crazy. But anyway, dude, yeah, it's been a busy week. But you know what? I'm super happy with the way everything's going. Which, like, I know a lot of people are struggling and going through some like weird times, and like that's always the case in life. But it's been tricky for me lately because I haven't really been on social media much. Because I mean, okay, dude, I literally was like, we were sick, and then we were better, and then I was like engaged, we got engaged, and then we went on vacation, and then like there's a move, and I'm just like, I'm not really on social media at all. I'm going through all this stuff. I'm trying really hard to finish this book with you, and
Hmm.
it's just been like I haven't had time. But every time I do go on there, I do see like the whole like bifurcated, like there are some people who are having the best day of their lives and some people who are having the worst day of their lives, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this anymore, and it's like,
It, first off, election years are always,
oh yeah.
horrible times
Yeah.
for everyone. But yeah, there seems to be a lot, especially in like some of our circles, there seems to be a lot of crazy going on, and it is unfortunate. You hate to see people go through anything.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, like yeah, I've been trying to like connect, but like I'm at work when I'm at work, it gets tough to juggle stuff because like I don't know. It's so hard to motivate to get on too, because first off, you get hit by a wall of so many things you don't want to hear about.
Yep.
And then it's like, after you read that, it's like I like literally like doom scroll for 2 seconds and go, why am I doing this? And then get
Yeah.
off. You know what I'm saying? I'm like doom scrolling to try to find stuff I want to hear from the people I care about. And then like am bombarded by a bunch of negativity. And I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah. That's
This is
that's
eating my
been
soul.
dude, that's been my experience lately too. And it's really tough because, like thankfully I've gotten into a situation where like I used to be at work, right? And then I was at work, I work in retail and I hated it and I was miserable. So what I would do is I would escape into a place where like I could say whatever I wanted and I didn't have to like just put on a face for customers and I didn't have to worry about credit cards and people yelling at me and I'd just go on Twitter and make stupid vampire jokes and people would laugh and be like, yes, I too like this kind of stuff. And now I feel that connection where I'm like, okay, not everyone in the world is bad. This is nice. Now I don't have that anymore. And what I do have is a place where like I'm happy and I'm like with the love of my life and I'm building this house and like it is all incredible. And then when I go online, I'm like, hey, here's my silly vampire thing. And like anytime anyone responds negatively, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like it's because I'm like, I don't want any of it. Like, and my tolerance for it has dropped significantly. Like to the point where I'm just like, because before I could ignore all the bad stuff because like my life was bad stuff. Like I'd go to work
Hmm.
and just be like, oh, I'm
So you're
inundated.
still gonna
I was
mine
like,
for that nugget of good,
yeah, exactly. So I'm looking for
but why
that.
are you gonna go mine for a nugget of good when you literally have the gold bars already like finished and formed right behind
Yes.
you? You know what I'm saying?
And
There's
yeah, and I think what ends up happening to me is like I become desperate to like find my friends whom I already connected with. So I'm just like, okay, where are these? And then they're harder to find. You have to make like specific lists now, and then not everyone's posting at the same time. So it's just like, oh my God. And it's like social media is just such a mess on these years, like you said. And like,
I
man,
need to make more use of the don't make it weird Discord is what I need to do. I feel like that's
Yeah.
probably got a lot of people that we like love in there already, and I could just like jump in and hop in and see how people are doing, and not have to worry about
Well,
everything else that most of my friends aren't even talking about. You know?
I'll tell you, dude. Like, you're very right, and like I've been because I have my bad movie Discord that like that's where like a group of my friends have met, and it's just like everyone's talking there, and people.
I should join. I don't. Did I ever join that? I don't think I ever even joined
You
that
never
Discord.
joined that. You should join
I'm
it.
elusive.
You
Like
are, dude.
I'm a
Oh, by
big
the way, I
fan.
love your shirt. I just noticed it when you
Tina
like.
got it for me
Oh, cool.
for our date anniversary. So we celebrate our wedding anniversary is in January, but we celebrate the day that we started dating too in October. So
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Oh
yeah.
my God. Oh, it's so cute.
Makes my arms look good too.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, Steven, am I like I want you to be I don't like I want you to be my best man, Steven. I want you to be my best
Oh
man.
my god, I gotta come up with a speech.
Yeah.
I got
Well,
this.
I was thinking and like it was funny because I think Atlas should probably be the ring bearer, but I was thinking like me
The
like
ring bear.
you
There's
got
not gonna be a bear at our
there.
wedding, is there?
He's gonna be the ring barreled Steven.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
She agreed to it. You heard her.
She's like,
No.
yes.
No, but dude, I don't like she already asked all of the bridesmaids that she wants and like she's got gifts for people. I'm like, I didn't know you were supposed to do that. I was like, I've never had to do this. I've never like planned any of this stuff.
So,
But
do you guys have a day picked yet?
our day that we picked is our birthday on 2026.
Oh, that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
so we got like a good year to. So, are we gonna do like a bachelor party then?
I don't want to do like I mean not like a movie
It's
best,
never gonna be like a. It's never gonna be
but
like
yeah.
Hangover, but like
No, but like I think we should like I think we should get like an Airbnb or like just do it at your house or like what
no, we should make it something cool. Like
make it
go
something cool.
somewhere and do
Like
something
yeah,
cool.
like we can go somewhere and then just like play music and games and like have some drinks and just like just invite friends and stuff, like that kind of thing, like that's I don't want any of the weird stuff that makes ruins relationships. I'm not interested in any of that.
I've never understood that. Like,
I
hey,
don't
let's
get
go.
it.
Hey, you know what would be really awesome is if the day before we spend the rest of our life with the person that we love more than anyone in the world, let's put ourselves in harm's way and at risk of completely ruining that. Let's
100%.
just,
I do not understand. And like, you know what it seems like like, and I'm sorry, I'm not throwing shit. I understand there are traditions but it feels like a test. It feels like a 100% like, yeah, you should have a bachelor party. And if you say yes, it's like, ooh, are you sure about that?
ooh, this motherfucker right here.
Right? Like, I don't get it. I'll never understand it. And like, I don't get how anyone ever tricks their significant other into it. Like I don't see how that works. Like, look, it's just one time where we're gonna go out and just one more time. Why do you need that one more time? Like that's what we're
what,
talking about. What?
what are you
I think I,
talking about? It
it's
doesn't
a
make
whole
any sense.
like I've been going my whole life without murdering people, Steven. I wasn't like, listen, before I never murder people,
All
I
right,
need to go
listen, before
murder
I
one
become a
person.
cop, before well, actually after I become, but before I join the FBI,
I'm gonna
I gotta go out there and risk killing a bunch of people.
I got
It's just part of the thing, right? It's tradition. It's tradition.
How else are you gonna know?
How else are you gonna know? I gotta know if I'm gonna pull that trigger or not, Cap. I gotta know if I'm gonna do it. What the fuck? It makes
man.
no sense,
It
but
makes no sense.
to each their own. I'm
Yeah.
not here to judge. I did not I didn't partake in any we didn't have any sort of like bachelor or bachelorette party like that anyway.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
but yeah,
dude,
that would be cool though.
like
Just
that.
get like some cool dudes with us. Maybe we should dude, it'd be cool to go to like Coral Springs or something even.
That would be cool. Yeah. We can
For
get
like weekend, like a weekend.
like Gary and Scott and Joe.
Yeah, I get to go see. Because I don't even know. Yeah, I'm sure I've met them in person probably
Yeah.
like over here, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever been to Coral Springs and done all that.
Oh.
So
No, that'd be awesome. And I know like Gary and them, they go to like this karaoke bar all the time, and we can go to there and just like hang
yeah, it'd
out.
be cool. Like drive up on a Friday and like just
Yeah, that would be awesome. Something like that. That'd be cool. But it's exciting. I don't know. Like, we've been talking about just doing it here and like trying to arrange it, and we'll come up with something fun. We have a whole year to do it,
I
so
know the venue we used was really nice. I don't know what you guys are looking for venue wise, but I'll let Tina, I'll tell Tina to share all that with
yeah.
KT. So
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. Um, but otherwise, like, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm gonna be doing this year. But speaking of what we're gonna be doing, what are you gonna be working on this week,
so
Steven?
I'm just plugging in the cameos, and actually I know you do have some pages colored, so feel free to
Yeah,
upload any tiffs that you have colored, and I'll
yeah,
start doing that too. I actually figured out where I'm going to put 2 more cameos, but yeah, so I just got to plug in the cameos, and then yeah, I can start shading, and I do need to do the alternate cover too, so I got to figure out how I'm
yes.
going to play with that. So
Awesome, dude. That's really cool. Honestly, I feel like you should go wild with the alternate cover because if you don't get it right the first time, we have another variant cover. Like,
yeah, it's true.
you know what I mean? Like it doesn't hurt to just have, and
I
also,
wanted to play with that whole foil idea where it's like so I'm guessing you send like a transparent file basically
yeah.
besides what is colored. So
Yes.
I wanted to like do something maybe with like puzzle pieces, like just like I wanted to make it simple, like almost just like maybe just M or something like that with like cool like different areas don't have the color. You know what I'm saying? I
That
don't
would be
know
cool. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
to
That
play
would be
with
cool.
that.
That'd be cool.
But,
I
but
think we
anyways,
should.
yeah, I definitely do have stuff to work on still, but it's so relieving not having to work on full pages anymore.
Oh,
So
dude, for sure. This week, I mean, obviously we're gonna have Thanksgiving and stuff, but I should have some time to color this week because we're starting
mhm.
to settle down all the stuff, and I can take like an hour out of each day to like sit down and actually color. I do know that next week I'll get a lot done because I
And
have
then do
to go back
and
to
then
school.
but also if I get all the cameos plugged in and have the alternate cover done, let me know where you're at, and then just send me a screenshot of your palette, and then I can start flatting whatever too,
Yeah.
so that way you can start lettering, and then we can just get it done.
Yeah, for sure, dude. But yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, that's what we're doing this week. For those of you out there who may have made it this far in our episode but haven't backed our Kickstarter, check it out, please. The link is below. We still have a couple weeks left, and we would like to get as many readers in this book as possible. It's a pretty good book. We seem to like it. Some people like the previous issue, Stephen. I really hope they like this issue. I think it's a fun freaking issue. It's funny. It has some cool stuff. I'm excited for like some of the flashback stuff is fun as heck, and I think people are gonna love it. But yeah, go check that out. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate the heck out of you. We just love you, and we're so thankful that you watch our show and support us at all and read anything that we ever make. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Steve, you want to say anything else to the people?
Like ditto, basically, like we appreciate each and every one of you, like the ones that we know who you are, we know who tunes in, we know who backs the Kickstarters. We love you guys so much, we from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much. But until next time, I'm Anthony.
I am Stevie Wario Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week.
Boom, 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 boom.